The Relic Watcher is the last map in this last best of 3 here, the third round of the Challenger League. And starting to the top right, we have the Startail Zerg player.
Startail Life.
Big fan favorite, one of the most dominant players in the world last year.
People say he always finds a way. And he has to find a way now against the Protoss to the bottom left. The underdog, but a very strong player regardless, forcing life into game number 3. He is
MVP Super.
playing a very strong second game against his opponent, and also showing in game number 1 that he is in a position where he can give life a run for the money. And now he is going with a pile on the long ground once again. On a map like this, it's difficult for the Protoss player oftentimes, since the third base is always kind of ugly to hold for you.
Yeah. You know, this map is kind of... The funny thing about this map is there's just like no terrain on it, really. If you look at the middle of the map, there's a little box, and there's 3 little holes.
Yep.
And that's all you get. Or there's 4 holes actually, not 3. Of course, both sides have the same amount, but
it's a wide area where Zerg can use flanks. He can come in from the sides and just take you on. Force fields are difficult to use here, so it's definitely a map that is to a Zerg's heart.
Yeah. Zerg's hearts up on this map. Hearts out to all Zergs on this map. Well, a fast third base again here. Double hatch before pool. Really liking that style. And it's actually almost becoming not like the standard build, but like it's no longer weird to see this anymore, or impressive, or wow, I can't believe he's doing that. It's just kind of like a strategy that has become standard.
Yeah, it's a lot more common, but it's something that you can definitely like punish as a Protoss player, especially when you go into Forge first play.
Even going gas for 4-hole too, so he's playing super greedy here. I think he's studied and realized that Super just does not probe scout, and if he doesn't do that, then it's like, well, why not? Why would you not take all the risks?
He also has the Overlord there. So he has the Overlord there once again. Of course, if you see that probe coming in and dropping the pylon, there's not a lot that you can do. Even pulling drones is not going to really help you. If the Protoss really wants to take down that base, he will. But then you can just cancel the Protoss invested pylon and cannons at that base, and can just and you're in a position where you delayed his expansion while you already have the second base up. So yeah, still fine. But right now, with the gas early, let's see what exactly Life is hoping to accomplish here. This is definitely a map to his liking, and I don't know, Super is very confident in his abilities to put a Zerg player in his place, as you can see. No probe scout, again, just talked about it. He's in a position where he says, my build is good enough to deal with everything that you throw at me.
Yeah, it's basically a show of confidence. A lot of players in the past actually show who was on State of the Game last night, or not State of the Game, Meta, actually is like famous for saying in interviews, like, I just do not scout because my build is good against everything. I've done a build that I've figured out how to deal with every other build that's strong right now, and no matter what he does, my build is going to be safe against it as long as I react properly. And that's basically what Super is saying here too. And he gets, you know, because of this, a little bit more mineral income throughout the game.
We have his tech choice, again, the Stargate. He will show us the Phoenixes again. He used them in both games so far and did a lot of damage with those guys too. And for Life, with the economy lead that he gets here and the speed upgrade, let's see what exactly he can do with that. Of course, he cannot break through that wall here at the ramp. That's something that would require Super to make a massive mistake. Maybe chase an Overlord with like Sipple Zealot, I don't know. He did mistakes like that in the past when he tried to chase down an Overlord with the only sentry that he had and lost the game because of it against Suho Shin back then, but that is something that forced him to change his nickname because he was so embarrassed. Yeah. Not quite the real story, but it might as well have been, because that was an atrocious game to watch and probably to play as well. But he is a really solid player by now, and he's not going to make a mistake like that. So right now we have Live at least in a position where he can deny a third base for a little bit. And he scouts what's going on. Korean castles are really excited about that Stargate being scouted. But let's
honestly,
face
it's pretty standard.
It's pretty standard. Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, hey, Big Dude, calm down over there.
It's like, oh my god, he scouts the Stargate, and it's like, well, When was the last time that you've seen a Protoss player hide the Stargate and hide the Phoenixes? I cannot even remember when it was.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, usually the first Phoenix goes for the Overload Hunt immediately.
I mean, in the old days, sometimes you would go like a Void Ray first sometimes, and then you wouldn't want that to be seen, or you go like a show of Void Ray and then go Phoenixes, or you go like double Void Rays, you're doing all, and then you don't want it seen. Back in the day when actually... sometimes the robotics as well. You wouldn't want the Zerg to know that because the Zerg is like, well, it could be an Immortal all in. I don't know. I have to be prepared for everything. But nowadays, it's like, if you're hiding a Stargate, like, what are you hiding it for?
Man, he sees it though. He knows.
He does know.
He already like built his own spore crawler.
It's just not as exciting as they might think. Yeah. I know somebody out there's like really excited about this. Sorry, but like, let's be honest, you need to calm down. Everything's okay.
Well, and there we have it. The Zergling with speed is scouting that base and is trying to delay it a little bit. Not lasting very long, but he gets his few precious seconds.
But here come a bunch of Lings, and he's making 30 Lings behind it. He's out for blood, and this time the wall is in 7. The sentry is gone.
One of them already, and the rest of the Lings are going to come in. 2 of the force fields have been used. He's trying to take position between the between the buildings here.
His positioning is so good.
That's something that he did in game number 2 already, and it really worked for him.
It's not going to be enough, I'm not so sure, but look at the Zealot placement. Look at that Zealot placement, it's perfect. If he attacks one force, it'll be enough. This is actually such good control that we're seeing here.
This time Life is so much more aggressive, and this time he's going to at least force a cancel Life.
It looks like it, yeah. Even the Mothership Core, not enough here.
He doesn't stop. Another 26 Zerglings are coming in, and Life is heading into an infestation pit this time. Look at that. Once again, the force with the positioning for Super is so good, but Life, he just doesn't stop.
Where's the next round of Warpins? It looks like it's still on cooldown here. The Nexus is starting to lose some hit points.
The Zerglings actually are just running by and just watching, a few of them at least, and this time there has to be a cancel. Super cannot hope to go through the Nexus. No cancel!
No cancel.
He forgets to cancel a 4th base for Life, and we have units streaming to the top right. He's going for the Phoenix counter aggression. The
Hive Tech is coming out here.
10-minute Hive Tech.
And actually, these Lings might be able to break through here. Well, not with the sentries.
Yeah, the sentries
are kind of a bad idea, I think, right now.
But he might be able to kill that Forge, and that means no upgrades.
Yeah, he's actually forcing...
You know, this is like what I was talking about. This is like a rabid dog just trying to go through a wall.
Yeah. And actually, he's going to go... No, he's not going through this. He doesn't get the Forge either.
He thinks about it, and he's like, I want that Forge. I really want that Forge. And he gets the Forge. He loses a lot of things in the process, but I don't think that he cares a bit. He has 3 bases against 2, and he's getting a 4th.
That was a weird little engagement that he committed to, but he did get the Forge, like you said, and I think it's okay for him. A lot of drones going down during this, though. And he sniped the 3rd no cancel. And he checks to see if it's been remade. It has not yet.
You know who Life always reminds me of in a lot of things? He reminds me of Grubby in Warcraft. Grubby in Warcraft was like this bloodlusted orc that with bloodlust and everything and with the screaming horde of units would run down a choke point and just crush opponents' armies. And then you would meet this lanky kid at the event and you're like, what? This is the fearsome orc that you always expected to have like a full beard and everything. And this is like the same thing. Life is like the swarm. He is Kerrigan incarnated. He's the guy who just doesn't stop. He goes for the attacks. He's pressuring you everywhere. And every single time he lands blows and you're just trying to fend them off, but it's like the kid has like 6 arms. And then you see him in the booth with that smirk and you're like, really?
Yeah, that's him. That's him. That's the guy. I like that analogy a lot. He's actually continuing the Zergling aggression, but he's not getting anything done with it this time. This base, he's a little bit too late. Had he run in, he might have been able to trade his Lings for it, but Ultralisk Cavern is done. Yeah, Ultralisk Cavern is done, and we have a nearly 13-minute Nexus now. That 4th base also has not been spotted yet. And of course, I mean, Super, he's not, like, we are talking about Life a lot, but Super is really trying. We mentioned earlier that his position trying to defend that 3rd base was just incredible with the sentries and also with the Zealots. You can see how much thinking was going into that, the process that he had there, into the defense, that put him into a spot where he said, like, I can hold that 3rd. In this game, it's not the case, because Life so super greedy in the early game, went for the speed, he went for everything, like, and just didn't stop. So much lava. The mechanics of this guy are just incredible. Having the opportunity to actually build all these units is already insane. But now we have like a few Vipers in the game, we have 8 Queens, and the Ultralisks are out in the game. And they have not been scouted, he doesn't know about them, and so... 8 Queen, oh my god, this is what we talked about, the flanks. Oh god. Wow. He actually could have, I think, even just committed there. I think he doesn't want to fight off creep, he would have immediately forced a recall.
If you see that running towards you, you are just thinking one thing, and that is run, and TP out, and there we go. This is the Swarm. Ultralisks at 14 minutes with Zerglings, with like everything that you have. This is just the only impulse that you have in your head is like, stay alive somehow, run, just flee and try to hold and fight another day.
This is a pretty good defensive position for him to fight at. He starts a second Robo facility, and that's where he's going to get the Immortal production from. The Queens are actually walking across the map, one by one here. He's actually getting a little bit split here. This is not how you want to engage the Zerg player, but now he gets the Vipers, the pulls.
Yeah, the pulls are there, and the first few units go down, but actually Super is doing a really decent job against this army.
It's just so impeccable, and Life's control is a little bit weaker, but now the Transfuses come through. The Queens a little bit late to the party. Now they show up.
He just fought without the Queens, and that's the problem. The Queens are his anti, and he's also the Transfuse. Ultimus should try to run back to get into Transfuse range.
Yeah, that Queen is fighting the
but the Lings are moving in. I mean, Life at this point, does it even matter? I don't know. Here come the Transfuses. 160 supply against 104 bases against 3. The Phoenixes going down, and those Ultralists, those are the 2 immortal Ultralists that will never die.
Never gonna die here. Transfuse is good, just repeatedly. The Zealot's actually coming to help fight though, but it doesn't look like it's gonna matter. The Phoenix is just staying here a little bit awkwardly. Not even lifting a Queen is gonna help with this situation. And he needs more Transfuses though. Is he out of energy? Has he transfused too much?
He might already, but he's killing so many units. Just look at the supply here. 91 army supply against 32. He's moving in again. Those Queens are like angry. And the Zerglings also. The Immortal's just running away. It's like, no, dude, that's not gonna happen.
No, GG.
GG. And Life is in the Premier League again.
Life is back, man. I feel like he did have a little bit of a shaky period, but he is definitely back in full force. He won IM. He won the 3rd round of the Challenger League here. He took out Super.
I'm so sad for Super, though. Like, the kid played so well. He belongs in the Premier League, in my opinion. It's really sad that only one of them, one of the 2 players today could win it.
Yeah, and he played Life. You know, a tough matchup for him. Well, that's that. That actually rounds out Life as our final Code S player. So we now have all 32.
Life at times just make it look so simple. It's like, yeah, I put my waypoint there, and then I build units, and then he's dead.
Yeah, he really just, I mean, he goes for fast hive, he gets aggressive, he forces cancels on next eye.
He fought without the Queens.
Yeah.
Think how that fight would have looked if he would have started to transfuse from the get-go. Right at the beginning. If the Queens are actually down there and he can start using the transfuse to keep the old boss test, but was evaporated.
Yeah. Didn't know it was coming either. He didn't expect Ultras that fast. You never expect that.
Yeah, who would? I mean, sentries were useless at the point in time, and it was just looking at the sentries like, yeah, what I'm going to do with you guys. Like, there's nothing that you can do anymore. Force fields against Ultralisk? That kid is so good.
Yeah.
But Super.
I'm sad
I hope
for
he
him
makes
too.
it into, because if you have like with the up and downs, I would love to see him in the Premier League. He belongs there, in my opinion.
It's going to be fun to watch those games no matter what. We're going to take a look at today's results. On the other hand, to refresh you guys about what happened earlier, Effort took a dominant 2-0 against True. Pig Baby versus Reality.
Coca took a beating.
Yeah, Coca took a beating as well. And Pig Baby versus Reality was kind of back and forth series, a real weird series. And last but not least, Life versus Super. Life edges out the win.
The best series that we had so far today. I mean, Life absolutely on a roll. The guy has so much momentum going for him. But Super, I mean, kudos. Super fought really, really well. Game 1 was good. Game 2 was great. Game 3, he did everything that he could. That defense at the 3rd base is just a piece of art.
So I don't know if we're actually going to see the lineup of all the Code S players. We usually do, but I don't know if that's going to happen. They have a different production setup.
I don't think that we have that today. I guess that's actually going to be it. Keep in mind that tomorrow, as you can see here, we have the finals, the Premier League finals for Korea. That's going to happen, so make sure that you tune in. It's going to be great. We have another Protoss versus Zerg, and that is also going to be hoot. So tune in for that. And besides that, we are done for the day. I hope that you enjoyed the games. At least the last series was a blast. And we're going to see you soon for the GSTL. Have a great day, guys.